Hey, what's going on, everybody? Unbox Love Affair here with my friend Martin. Martin is in a comic book club with me where we, on a monthly basis, get together and talk about different graphic novels. It's essentially a book club. But today we're here to unbox his CGC submissions. And they're not just any other submissions, it's George Perez submissions that he sent for the first George Perez signing, I think.
Which was back a couple of months ago.
Okay. So they're back, which is great. I did not submit anything for this particular signing. I may submit something for the next one, which we'll talk about in a minute. So what we're going to do is he's going to show us his slabs. I get to enjoy the grades, or maybe not.
Oh yeah, so I've already seen them. This is going to be a first time for you, so you're going to have genuine surprise face as we go through this.
And they're not mine, so I have no vested interest other than to hope that my friend is happy. And then after we look through his slabs, we're going to look through some comics that each of us has that we're thinking about submitting to CGC for the next George Perez signing. As some of you may be aware, most of you may be aware, George Perez is very ill and is doing one final signing for the community through CGC. And then there's other signings he's doing with other facilitators, but the CGC one is one that we're thinking about. So without further ado, let's look at what you have in this box. And how many slabs do you have?
5 total.
All right.
So I'll pass them off to you, face down.
Face down, okay. So I have a stack of slabs, which is always fun.
Yes.
And so full disclosure, Martin's already seen these books. He's hinted that some he's happy with and some he is not. And so are these books that you are hoping to flip? Are these personal collection books? What do they say?
So 2 of them are a very personal collection that I want to keep hang on my wall for other people to see. I was thinking about flipping 3 of them. 4 of them are part of a series run. I was thinking about keeping the first one and flipping the other 3. But we'll see how it goes, because I have to be honest, I actually enjoyed getting them so much more than I had expected.
Getting them, meaning from CGC?
Oh yeah, getting them back from CGC.
Yeah.
I mean, so I do have several complaints, but I do believe the joy that I've received from it is actually like outweighing my complaints.
Okay, that's good. I mean, it's good to have better positives than negatives. All right, I see a newsstand. I see, okay, so I don't know this book. It's a Mighty Mouse. It's a variant cover or
It's an
homage.
yeah.
So let's see. Came back a 9.6.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. What were you expecting?
So let me begin with, these are books that I bought 30 years ago, literally off of a newsstand, kept in a box, not even boarded, just a plastic bag. So getting a 9.6 was just kind of an outrageous score on it. So super happy with that. If I did have a complaint on it, is you might have trouble finding the signature.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, did he actually sign this?
That was exactly what I thought when I pulled it out. I did do some research ahead of time, and generally George Perez prefers to use gold and black, and I was really hoping that he would switch as needed. But considering he probably gets thousands of these, it's probably just sign.
Yeah, so I've had this happen to me. Anyone who's seen my Todd McFarlane unboxing of Spider-Man #1, I had several different copies, and Todd signed in black, which is completely fine, right on the webs of Spider-Man #1, that iconic cover, and it's really hard to see that there's a signature there, and so that's sort of the situation here. It almost feels like, I almost feel like it would be good over the logo, or maybe over the chest of Mighty Mouse.
Oh, maybe over the moon, now that I think about it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God, yeah.
A crying moon.
Yeah.
So this is an homage cover. Did he actually do this cover? He did.
He did. Yeah, this is actually done. This is the only book in this run that he's done. Another complaint, which is my mistake, was when I sent it in, I didn't let him know there was a newsstand version as opposed to direct edition. There's also, and what makes this particularly special for myself is there's only 4 graded copies of the book. 2 of them in a 9.8, 2 in a 9.6, and only 1 signed one that I now own.
Perfect. You are a rarity in the community.
Well, until tomorrow, right?
We'll see. Well, and I don't think CGC notes newsstand. I think CBCS does.
Oh, really?
That grading company. So I don't know if you would have had an opportunity to get anything labeled. I could be wrong.
Part of my learning process.
I mean, I could be wrong, but that's what I think is the way. But it could, maybe it's different. So next one. A favorite of mine. Anyone who knows me knows I love Thanos. I love Adam Warlock, Silver Surfer. Infinity Gauntlet 6 was my first big crossover as a kid, and that got me hooked and had to get the other issues, and so I'm glad that you have this in the bunch. This is a favorite of mine. Where did he sign? Oh, I see. But let's get to the grade.
Yeah.
A 9!
Yep. Again, same situation as far as storage. So generally, I was happy with anything above a 9 for this run. This was my gateway drug into comics,
yes.
And it really forced me. Getting this, I needed to actually go to a real comic book store instead of like a newsstand where it had variable availability. So this comic book is very near and dear to my heart. The signature, a little bit difficult to pick up on, again, because of the use of black.
It's a busy cover. So,
yes.
And George Perez is a busy artist. I mean, he has many characters and panels, and that's what I think he was known for, is these multiple difficult panels and drawings and covers. So yeah, I think maybe the only bare place would be right below the glove or in the title. Yeah,
and by the way, they completely respected my placement for where I want the stuff done. So I am very happy with that. So wherever the signature lies is actually my fault as far as that goes.
That's happened to all of us. I always have grand ideas, and then I get it actually done, and I was like, that might have been not the best choice. So, are you thinking of submitting another Infinity Gauntlet for the next?
No, unfortunately, I only had that was from my parents' apartment, given back to me.
Take it out of here. Yeah. All right, next up. Okay, another Infinity Gauntlet, and it is a 9.6, so you did better on this one.
Yeah, so the grades did go up and down. If you haven't figured out already, the next two are also going to be part of Infinity Gauntlet as well.
That's my jam, so I don't mind that.
I do like the signature a little bit better as it comes out. It does pop a little bit more. I'm also very happy with the 9.6 grade.
Yeah, that's a great grade.
And this is one of the ones I'm debating selling.
Okay. It's probably my least favorite of the covers. This might be, I think it's number 3 or 4 where Perez sort of took a back step from the art chores internally, and Ron Lim took over. But he definitely did this issue. But yeah, you see all those characters. All right, next up. More Infinity Gauntlet at a 9.2. Okay.
Yeah.
Where is the signature? I see. Oh, he does silver, right?
Yes, he did silver for this one.
Oh.
Which made me super happy with how busy this cover was.
Look at that. They're trying to get with the glare, but yeah, I own the whole run of Infinity Gauntlet signed, and Perez signed every one of them. I got varying grades. I think I got a 9.0 in the number 1 as well. And none of them are signed in silver, so that's really nice.
Yeah, and I'm lucky he signed in silver.
Yeah.
Because in retrospect, I probably should have him signed across the Infinity Gauntlet title to really get a much clearer signature. But the fact that he used silver just made it pop.
Yeah, it's really nice. I wonder if he's taking recommendations, for folks that don't know, and we'll see that in a minute with Martin's books that he's thinking of sending in for the next signing. Window bagging is always the best way, and often required by CGC or facilitators to get the signature. And what that basically is, for anyone who doesn't know, is you cut out a window in the comic bag to show where you want the signature. And that's what Martin did with these books. And sometimes on that tape that you use to identify where the opening is, usually painter's tape, you can write in a little note to the artist. And oftentimes I'll say, can you do this in red or blue or what have you?
That's a fantastic idea.
Yeah, so that's something that doesn't sound like you did that here.
No,
you lucked out.
But
I think that's something to think about for anyone who's submitting, to see if the artist will take that recommendation. Doesn't mean they will. They may not read that, but it's always a little tip just in case the artist is interested in obliging. So this is number 4?
Yep.
Okay, I love this cover. It's the
This
Come
is
and
the
Get
last
Me.
cover he did, yeah.
Yeah, so 9.8. This is a good one.
Right?
And a silver signature.
Yeah. The signature, the cover, the grade, everything came out awesome. All thanks to dumb luck. Again, didn't think to ask for color choice. But I'm so happy he did it with silver. And
if he did black here, I'd be like, dude.
Then he's just trolling me.
Yeah, he's sick of signing at that moment. That's awesome. This makes complete sense for a silver signature. I've been fascinated with finding this book in a newsstand. I have a couple of them. They're not in high grade, but anytime I see this book in a newsstand, I always want to pick it up if it's affordable, just because it's just, I don't know, something about this.
It's an amazing cover.
Yeah, it's a cool cover. So what is your favorite of this group? Is it this one for the grade, or is there another one that you like?
The Mighty Mouse one.
The Mighty Mouse.
My favorite one. It was a Saturday morning cartoon favorite of mine. So I was actually very excited when the Marvel started doing a run of Mighty Mouse comic books.
Very nice.
So this is my absolutely favorite one. Probably the second, maybe a tie between 2 and 3, is the Infinity Gauntlet 1 and 4. Really just because how special Infinity Gauntlet 1 is, and just how cool number 4 came out with especially with the grade.
Yeah, anytime you get a 9/8, that's great. Of course, any grade is always amazing, especially if they're a personal collection and you're into having the signature for the signature's sake and to commemorate that artist.
Absolutely.
It's just too bad that we all can't get a chance to meet these artists, George Perez or others. I regret leaving the line for George Perez at Garden State Con 2-3 years ago. I gave my books to a facilitator, and they got them signed. It took a long time, but the line was huge for Perez because he takes his time. He is a fan-oriented artist, a favorite among many comic book collectors, and he will hug you, he will talk with you, he will tell you stories about the books. I just didn't feel like sitting in line, and I wish I did. That's a regret I have. But so now we have these facilitated signings. So speaking of which, so let's talk about the books that you want to submit coming up, and I'll show some books I'm thinking of submitting. So let's get those books.
All right.
Martin, why don't you talk to us about the books that you prepared to send in?
So all these are part of the 1980s Teen Titan run. It was something that I just kind of got interested in a few months back. There was some discussing of some new characters showing up in the Teen Titans TV series, so I thought I would grab some keys, and then I found out a lot of these Teen Titan keys are very inexpensive. By the way, from the condition of these books, none of these are mint. A lot of them are going to be very mid-grade, but there are some interesting characters that show up into them. I think they're very beautiful covers, and I don't really expect to flip any of these. I think these are part of my permanent collection.
They're sentimental, they're PC books.
Yeah. All right, so the first one is Teen Titans number 23, and as you can already see, I've already made a window bag for this. This one is the first full appearance of Blackfyre, first time on a cover. And this is also the first appearance of Adrian Chase, who goes on to be Vigilante, which is going to be part of the Peacemaker series. So I know his first appearance in Teen Titans, or first appearance on the cover and in costume, is actually selling very well right now. Or at least
that's the special or the annual.
It's an annual, yeah. All right, and for my next one, it is New Teen Titans number 26. It is the first appearance of Terra, who goes on to be the main character in Judas Contract, which is one of my favorite Teen Titans stories. It's been done several times, both in its own standalone movie and in everyone's favorite Teen Titans TV show. From
the HBO one.
The Cartoon Network.
Oh, the cartoon.
With
Okay.
With the very poppy entrance in it. So I picked this up. Actually, it was part of a lot. So I think for $20, I got this and 10 other Teen Titan comic books. This one is New Teen Titans number 16, and this is actually very kitschy for me. One, I do like the cover very much, but I also am a big fan of this being the first appearance or preview appearance of Captain Carrot and the Zoo Crew in comic books. So I just thought it would be just a fun thing to have.
You're a big Captain Carrot fan?
I am a fan of the idea of Captain Carrot. My first introduction to Captain Carrot was in a Robot Chicken skit. which it just had me like rolling on the floor. But I didn't really go looking for titles with this. What also drew my interest was on the Injustice Incarnate #1. You can actually see Captain Carrot on the cover.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, well, let me get this now. Let's see. Next I have is Teen Titan Annual #3. This is the last issue of the Judas contract. So this is the Death of Terra in this one. And I'm going to actually, now that I'm taking a longer look at this, I will take your advice and try to like write in onto the painter's tape like some potential colors. From looking at some Instagram posts, I know that black and silver are his go-to, but apparently gold is also one of his colors as well. So maybe I'll ask for one of those 3 colors to make it easier on him. And
it's always good to, if you have the time, just to look up online, Google image or what have you, to see if anyone else has a signed copy or a CGC copy, so you can see where the placement might look good, and if you like one over the other with what's out there in the digital world, that's another option.
And the last one I'm going to show is this one. This is Teen Titans #39, and one, I thought it was a really good cover for a signature.
Oh yeah.
I actually saw someone else on Instagram, Google image search, who already had this signed, and it looks just absolutely fabulous. It is the last appearance of Dick Grayson wearing his Robin costume before he switched over to Nightwing. So I just figured it'd just be a fun one to have signed and hanging on the wall.
Yeah. Great. I think those are great choices, and it's very DC-centric.
Oh, yeah.
I'm, as anyone knows who watches my stuff, I'm more of a Marvel guy, although I've been buying more DC lately, and certainly George Perez did a fair share in both worlds, but I think he did a lot of DC, which is really cool stuff. So I have a stack as well, although I'm only thinking I might pick 1 or 2, if that. This is usually my process, where I pull books and I try to decide at the end of the day, you know, what's worth the money, my time and money, and what has a good condition that I don't want to send a book that's going to get a 2. I'd like something that gets a presentable grade. Again, like Martin, I don't send these books to get signed in order to flip them. I send them to for more personal reasons, to achieve a goal with an artist. I already have a lot of George Perez, so signatures, so I'm not hard pressed to get another one. I do have a sketch that's going to come back to me from last year. It's still at CGC somewhere. A facilitator has it out there in limbo. But these are the books I pulled as candidates, because I really these are books that I've had in my mind that I'd like to get signed, and then now, since it is his final signing, obviously it's now or never. So two copies, I'm trying to decide if this is something I'd be interested in. Marvel 2-in-1. This is number 61. This is the Cocoon issue that you think is Adam Warlock, but it turns into her, which is Aisha, I believe. So it's just another cosmic story that I've always enjoyed. This is probably the least of the ones that I'll add in there. I probably won't get this signed, but these were candidates that I was thinking of. I do have a really nice copy of Crisis #7, Crisis on Infinite Earths. This is the famous, often homaged, as we saw in the Mighty Mouse book, which I didn't put 2 and 2 together, that I had this book in a stack.
This would be my choice for you.
Yes. I think this is highly possible. It is very nice. None of these are pressed, because I just haven't gotten my act together to send these to get pressed for, sit at the presser for a month or 2, come back to me, and then send it out. I would miss the deadline. So I probably would get it pressed by CGC. But this is my personal copy. This is one from my Crisis set that I've had in storage for quite some time. Iconic cover. So I think that is probably a likely one. A new book that I just bought off of Instagram the other week was New Teen Titans #1. This is a replacement copy. I had sold my issues #1, 2, and others years ago, and I've missed it. I've thought about it for a while, and I found this copy for $30, which I thought was a decent deal. It definitely has some wear. The spine is nice. It doesn't have any like of the back cover on the front, as sometimes happens. It's a nice white cover, probably a little dirty, but this would be an obvious candidate if I didn't care about grade. And I have to decide if I don't care about grade. This is probably a 7, maybe an 8.
So let me ask you this. I mean, so this is like a 40-year-old book. I mean,
yeah.
Does that factor in as far as like expectations for grades and stuff like that for you?
I don't think, well, for me, maybe not, but I think for the grading company, they don't necessarily care. I think they're looking at the obvious defects. And, and if you have a pristine book, you have a pristine one. And this definitely would need a press. I wish I had time to send this to my presser to do cleaning. I'm not sure how much cleaning CGC actually does. I think they're more of a quick press. So I'd have to think about that long and hard. Sort of a top candidate for me is JLA Avengers #4. This is that Squarebound Thor, or I'm sorry, soups with the Thor and Cap shield. I have 2 copies. I would not send 2 copies. I'd pick one that's the better of the conditions. But it's a really, I mean, these are books, unless you sit on them and toss them around the house, they're going to be in good condition. And unless you've read them, I'd have to see if someone's cracked open the seal. But this would be a cool one. Yeah, it's an awesome cover. It has the best of both worlds, DC and Marvel. So this was high on my list, but it might get edged out by Crisis #7. Like Martin, I have New Teen Titans. This is issue 23. This is the first Blackfyre. Really nice copy. This is probably 9.6 to 9.8 candidate.
Your copy is in much better condition than mine.
I bought this at an estate sale recently, and so I paid like $4 for it, and I had it in my collection originally. I think I had sold it or gave it away or something and brought it back after I found it there. So it would need a press probably just to be safe, but I think it's a really cool cover. But again, there are other ones here that I might opt to focus on instead. This one I think is almost a given for me. Comics interview #94. This one I've been following on eBay looking for, and after another YouTuber that I met at the Garden State Comic-Con, Amazing Murphinator, he had this book. He got it signed. Great name, right?
Oh, it's awesome.
So Murph got this signed. He got it signed in a paint pen, which I know George is not going to do, and I was hoping to bring my paint pens and get this signed. I have 2 copies of this. This is the better copy. It's not a comic, it's a magazine, but look at that Thanos cover. I love that. And then last for consideration would be Marvel Team Up 65-66 with George Perez artwork, at least on the cover. I don't know if he did the internal, but it's Captain Britain's first U.S. appearance in comics. He appeared in UK, but this is his first U.S. I may opt not to get this signed. I'm not sure. So, I mean, I could opt to get any of these signed. I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe you all can let me know in the comments what you think. Martin's made up his mind. I have not. I have another, 2-3 weeks before I need to get these out. But I think it's definitely going to be the Infinity Gauntlet and maybe one other, maybe 2. I've been buying comics like nobody's business, so I'm feeling a little poor. So I don't know if I want to add more money into the signing pool, but we'll see. All right, folks, so that is our unboxing / CGC prospects for Signature Series. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Martin. This was his idea.
Thank you for entertaining this idea for me.
Yeah, no, anytime. This is a first for me to have someone in the room. I actually told him I usually film when no one is around, and it's weird to be around someone when I'm filming because I always get self-conscious. So it's actually nice. You've been a good co-pilot today.
Thank you very much.
I'll
keep making faces at a minimum.
Yes. And anytime you need an unboxing, I'm happy to oblige and come. Sure. Martin has a fabulous Pops collection. There's comic books everywhere. He is getting into things, getting slabbed, and he's obviously getting into signings, and he's actually starting to purge some of his collection, to sell some, probably to finance more.
Yeah. That's how it's supposed to work, right?
Right. It would be great if the hobby paid for itself. Sometimes it can. But thanks everybody for watching. Make sure if you like this video, hit that thumbs up, comment down below, let us know what you think, especially I could use some help figuring out which ones I'm gonna send in. And look forward to seeing you at the next video. So take it easy.
Bye.
Bye-bye.